said, "Whatever's cheapest." That's when I realized my own husband couldn't care less about making my life easier. I started texting Sean more, just casual stuff at first, but he made me feel like I was interesting again. He'd ask about my day, remember things I'd told him, and actually respond when I was frustrated instead of making me feel like I was being dramatic. The contrast was incredible. Here's David treating me like his personal assistant, and here's Sean treating me like I'm worth his time. I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't about the drugs at first. It was about feeling alive again. When I was with Sean, I felt like the person I used to be before I became just David's wife and the kids' mom. He made me laugh. He made me feel beautiful. And he made me feel like my opinions mattered. David hadn't touched me in months, barely looked at me, and acted like I was bothering him whenever I tried to connect. Meanwhile, Sean would tell me I was amazing and that I deserved better. The few times I tried to talk to David about how disconnected we'd become, he'd just say, "I don't know what you want from me," and turn back to his phone. That's when I started thinking maybe I was in the wrong marriage. Maybe I'd settled for someone who didn't appreciate me instead of waiting for someone who would. Sean started showing up at the gas station when I was getting coffee before work, and we'd talk in his car. He'd bring me little things, nothing expensive, just thoughtful stuff like my favorite candy or a coffee from the good place across town. David hadn't brought me anything in years, unless it was my birthday or Christmas. I started looking forward to these little meetups more than going home. The excitement of having someone who wanted to see me, who lit up when I walked over, was addictive. At home, I felt like furniture, but with Sean, I felt like a woman again. I know how this sounds, but I was starving for attention and affection, and David was giving me neither. When Sean started hinting that I deserved someone who would put me first, it made perfect sense. Why should I stay in a marriage where I felt invisible when someone else was showing me what it felt like to be valued? Everything changed the day I came home and found David in his garage completely absorbed in organizing his tools while the kids were inside fighting over the TV remote. I asked him to help me get them settled, and he actually said, "Can't you handle it?"